Very many analysts and indeed observers of the Kenyan political scene had sworn that there's a political reshuffle coming up. They told us that the whole objective of this reshuffle was to clip the wings, clip the powers of Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. Well, the reshuffle seems to have come. However, it has not come in the way that was analyzed, in the way that people were expecting. However, that has not stopped some analysts from forcing things, forcing the analysis that this particular reshuffle or mini reshuffle has favored Raila Odinga allies. And I say forced because even the main name being mentioned, Ambassador Peter Nicholas Oginga Ogego, in my book, he's not really a Raila Odinga man. This is the same man in 2006, who, as ambassador to the US, made a very biting criticism of President Obama's lecture at the University of Nairobi, where he criticized corruption in Kenya in 2006. Indeed, this man was bang in the middle of the Kibaki administration when Raila people were fighting Kibaki and preparing for the 2007 general elections. Therefore, whatever else people say, personally, I don't believe he's a proper Raila Odinga ally. I believe it's more accurate to say that he is one of those people who plays politics for plum appointments, to plum positions by government and in government. Bottom line, this mini reshuffle has to be analyzed completely in a different light. And even the main reshuffle, which was just one in cabinet, there was no firing. It was just an exchange of portfolios between Aden Mohammed, who was CS Industry, who just switched positions with Peter Munya, who was the East African Community Cabinet Secretary. In my view, this so-called mini cabinet reshuffle reminds me of the reshuffles that were done during the Moi days, the mini reshuffles. Their main objective in those days was to enforce loyalty, to put people on their toes, to ensure that people working in government are very sensitive about being totally loyal to the president of the day. And I believe this is exactly what is happening in this Uhuru Kenyatta reshuffle. And it presents some very interesting possibilities. The interesting possibilities are that it is now apparent that the Uhuru Kenyatta insiders may have decided to turn DP Ruto supporters rather than to fire them. Because the truth is, many of them can be turned. Now, what do I mean by turned? Well, let me give you a simple example from the world of spying and espionage, international spying and espionage. Many times, when somebody is discovered to be spying for a foreign power, instead of being arrested, instead of being put out of play, what normally happens is that they're briefed, they're turned. Of course, now, there's something hanging over their necks. They're told, if you do not do as we tell you, then we will fully prosecute you for spying. And spying is treason. And in most countries, including Kenya, treason is punishable by death. And so this spy continues to pretend that they are working for their old masters, when actually what has happened is that they are actually a double spy. They are sending information that is not so valuable to their masters to keep them happy, but their main objective turns into helping their new master. That is precisely what I mean by turning. Of course, there are some diehard supporters who cannot be turned. There are some people who are so loyal to the other side that they cannot be turned. But those are few, and there are other ways of dealing with them. Now, this presents the very interesting and extremely fascinating possibility that we're not going to see a big reshuffle after all. Instead, this government cleanup, to rid the power of too much influence from one DP William Ruto, is going to be done, as we say it in Kenya, chini ya maji. Now, in my view, taking into account the circumstances, this is a pretty smart move. I'll of course keep you updated as I get more information, And as I see more pointers supporting this amazing theory that I've just presented. Now, two other ambassadorial appointments, subject to approval by Parliament, which I believe should not be any problem. Two appointments caught my eye. That of a man called Manoa Espisu. Now, as you all know, Manoa Espisu has been the State House spokesperson. And recently, he has gotten an assistant called Kshs Dena, from Citizen TV. It seems that Miss Dena was just being prepared to take over the full appointment as a State House spokesperson, because she's the one who's been issuing most of the statements. She's the one who's been doing most of the work. It seems that she was just being prepared, learning the job, learning the ropes, as Mr. Espisu was preparing to depart. And now we can see where he's going to depart. He's going to be an ambassador from Kenya to a certain foreign country, which we're yet to know. So the star of Kshs Dena continues to rise and rise, for those fans of hers. But perhaps the one which really caught my eye was that one was the appointment of Abwana Francis Muhoro, to take up an ambassadorial position. Now, who is Francis Muhoro? Surprise, surprise. Francis Muhoro is actually Francis Ndegwa Muhoro. Most Kenyans know him as Ndegwa Muhoro, the immediate former Director of Criminal Investigations. Again, going back to the Moi days, people who were removed, or resigned or whatever, you got out of very sensitive security dockets, were usually taken care of. It happened to a man called Ben Gedi. It happened to another man called Bernard Hinga, who was Commissioner of Police for many years. The whole idea is to make sure you keep a close eye on these people who hold very sensitive government secrets that are extremely sensitive, so sensitive that they can easily bring down a government. You don't just let those people walk out into the sunset. They need to be kept close watch on. They need to be taken care of so that they have no reason to betray the trust that the government placed on them in allowing them into situations where they had very, very sensitive secrets. Now, we all know that under Muhoro's tenure, very many crazy things happened in Kenya, including the latest, the very brutal murder of Bwana Chris Musando, the former IEBC ICT guru. And that's just a recent case. There are very, very many other cases going back, including the assassination of Jacob Juma. There is no doubt this man holds very, very sensitive government secrets. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.